you couldn't tell me that Carter wasn't going to be one of the greatest running backs of all times. He started just 14 games over 4 seasons, compiling just 747 yards rushing and 16 scores, while averaging an abysmal 21.3 yards per game. You know what? I forgot. I wrote his name down, but I'm looking back at my little notes here, man. I forgot that he was the first pick in the draft. Did you hear what I said? Gewt Carter was the first pick in the draft by the Cincinnati Bengals in 1995. Okay? And let me repeat his stats once again. First pick in the draft by the Cincinnati Bengals. And he started in just 14 games over the next 4 years. In 4 years, he had just 747 yards rushing and 16 touchdowns. In 4 years, the number 1 pick in the draft. Oh, my gosh. And I think part of his problems were he had these little nagging injuries or whatever. But I can't remember exactly. But that same draft, the Bengals could have had Steve McNair. They could have had Warren Sapp. Or they could have had Derek Brooks. Got to be more careful. Got to be more careful. And if you think about it, you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. If you think about it, like Gewt Carter probably is one of the first backs where they started downgrading the significance of running backs in the NFL because of how bad he did. It was him. What's the running back name from Alabama that played for the Seahawks? Oh, I can't remember his name right now. Alexander. Shaun Alexander. Shaun Alexander's another one, too, who after he got that big deal, kind of a different scenario. Carter's when he got drafted, he didn't pan out to be nothing at all. But Shaun Alexander, he had done good a couple of years. The Seahawks gave him this big-ass deal. And I mean, the minute that he signed that big deal for Seattle, he didn't do shit ever again. I'm going to be honest with you, man. Them two cats right there, if you're talking about guys that I was 100% totally wrong about, I was 100% totally wrong about Heath Shuler, and I was 100% totally wrong about Gewt Carter. And if you remember Gewt Carter at Penn State, I mean, he deserved to go number 1. He was a beast. Big, strong, physical, could run over you, can run away from you. He did it all. But it just didn't translate to the NFL for some reason. Oh, my gosh. You talk about a disappointment. I might need to reconsider and put him high on my list. And last honorable mention, draft bust, Achilles Smith. Third overall pick in 1999 by the Cincinnati Bengals. And you remember the thing about Achilles Smith that I and most football fans will remember is he's kind of, this is a great comparison. I just thought of this. The way that it's setting up right now for Mitch Trubisky, and it wasn't even that good. And I don't have his numbers in front of me, but I was about to make the comparison between Kenjana or Achilles Smith and Mitch Trubisky on how they just came from nowhere. Like, I don't think anybody really heard, or I don't remember in particular, Achilles Smith, and I think he played at Oregon. I don't remember any talk or hype about Achilles Smith until his last year at Oregon. In his last year at Oregon, he put up all these big numbers, and he got drafted high by the Cincinnati Bengals. And I think he won the Heisman, too. So it's the whole conversation about a guy coming from nowhere, and an NFL team got enamored by him, took him high in the first round, and he ended up doing nothing. Very reminiscent of this whole setup with Mitch Trubisky out of North Carolina. Like, nobody heard of Mitch Trubisky, not just last year, but I'm going to say midway through this year, through this last year in North Carolina, nobody knew a damn thing about no Mitch Trubisky, unless you were a Tar Heel fan. And because Trubisky doesn't even have the resume that Achilles Smith had. And I'm not sure Achilles Smith won a Heisman. Let me make sure on that. And you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. He may have. I think he did win the Heisman Trophy. Okay, no, he didn't win the Heisman. He didn't win the Heisman. From what I'm looking at here, he didn't win the Heisman. But he had a big, big senior year, and Cincinnati Bengals gave him the key to the franchise. And, I mean, his stats were just paltry. And I don't have his stats in front of me. I wish I did. But he makes my honorable list of NFL draft busts of all time. From T-Dub, he says, injuries aren't playing, Doug. Remember, you blew out your knee, too. Well, I agree with that, and I always say that. And I can't remember to the degree that Kajana Carter had those injuries. But, yeah, if there were injuries that really affected the way that he played on the field, then, yeah, you have to put that into the equation as well. From Sidney Jackson, Sam Bradford was taken number 1 and was the last player to get those big-ass contracts. Sam Bradford. How about this? On the spot, I'm putting Sam Bradford in an NFL draft bus. Rough Buff, X-Squad, saying, man, I hate to agree about Ward, but he was. Are you talking about Peter Warrick that played at Florida State, return guy? And I think Peter Warrick was drafted high, or maybe like mid-first round or something like that. But you talk about dazzling in college. Oh, Peter Warrick was just a joy to watch when he was at Florida State. And I think, let me look it up right now. I think that he did okay in the NFL, but he didn't do what everybody thought he was going to do in the NFL. Peter Warrick was drafted. Wow. He was drafted at number 4? I didn't realize he went that high. Peter Warrick in the 2000 draft, first round, pick number 4 by the Cincinnati Bengals. Solid player, and he actually got drafted in 2000, and he played for 4 years for the Bengals. He played for a year with the Seattle Seahawks. He also played in 2007 with the Las Vegas Gladiators. What is that? What league is that? Is that the XFL? Las Vegas Gladiators. It's an Arena League team. I didn't even realize that. Then he also played in Canada with the Montreal Alouettes in 2008, for the California Redwoods in 2009. The California Redwoods? What the hell is the California Redwoods? The California Redwoods are from the American Football League. I don't even know what the hell league that is. He also played for the Bloomington Extreme in 2009, 2010. The Bloomington Extreme is an indoor football league. Damn. Peter Warrick was out there playing during semi-pro football. Who would have known? And he also played in 2011 for the Cincinnati Commandos. The Cincinnati Commandos, another team in the indoor football league. I had no clue. Wow. I guess you could put him on the honorable mention list for NFL draft bust. And I wouldn't even say that because he played like 5 or 6 years in the NFL. He was a return guy, but based on where they drafted him, like it's almost like this McCaffrey, thing. And the argument I made, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show, the argument I made about Reggie Bush. Like you can't take a return guy, gadget guy, that high in the draft. When you take a running back that high in the draft, they need to be an every down back. And if you come into the equation knowing that Reggie Bush is going to be mainly a third down back, a kick returner, punt returner, same thing with Peter Warrick, same thing I believe is going to be the case with Christian McCaffrey, you can't take him at number 4. Perfect example with this Peter Warrick thing. Peter Warrick was the bomb in college. Trust me, if you're a greenhorn, go to YouTube and look up Peter Warrick. Man, this man made so many dazzling plays for Florida State. And so I don't remember where I thought he should have been drafted at the time, but I'm pretty sure that I thought at the time taking him at number 4 was a reach. And I guess it kind of bears out to be the case. He was a dynamic player in college. But when you're that type of player, you can't take a player like that high in the draft. And maybe Peter Warrick is one of the reasons why they don't typically do that in the NFL. You know, your Danny Whiteheads of the world or your Darren Sproles of the world. You can't take no gadget back that high. Even Reggie Bush. Reggie Bush has had a good career, but it's the argument I made with my brother when we were doing the Stews. It's like Reggie Bush isn't every down back, you know? And based on where he was drafted at, I think that I more so was right than I was wrong about Reggie Bush. Solid career. You play that long in the NFL, it's good no matter how you look at it. But based on where they took him at and what, you know, people thought that he was going to be one of these guys that being talked about as one of the greatest running backs of all times, we don't even think about Reggie Bush as being one of the greatest running backs of all times. No way. No way. All right, let's get out of here.
When Tupac was around, he wanted to raise a nation of thugs. But I think it's only right for me to raise a nation of bruhs.
Yeah!
Frank Coleman, Ernest Just, Oscar Cooper.
All right. Time to get out of here. Make room for Jeff Fox with the Jeff Fox Show coming up immediately following this show. So in about 5 minutes, all right? Shouts out to my producers, Waterhead, Walter, Poe Politicking, Dwayne Vassan, Gerald Oliveri, the engineers, my man John Gorefeld, the web guy, my man Larry, the benefactor. Shouts out to you all. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah. Here come my favorite part of the song. Hold on. Yeah. Get so. That's my line name. Yeah, and a special shout out to my man Pink Gator for this hot ass track. All right, don't forget, man, this Thursday, the Doug Stewart Show. Moving to the DougStewartShow.com. Please become a premium member. Let's keep the party going. Coming up next, Jeff Fox, followed by John Fisher, cooking with the microwave here on WSME. Thank you, Stewies, for all that you do. Without you, there is no me. We'll do it again tomorrow. Same Doug Stewart time, same Doug Stewart channel. Peace.
In the sky, we gon' hold it down. Frank Coleman, Ernest Just, Oscar Cooper, Edgar Love, four founders, sons of blood and thunder. I'm wrecking for the Q, I know it make you wanna. When Tupac was around, he wanted to raise a nation of thugs. But I think it's only right for me to raise a nation of bruhs. Frank Coleman, Ernest Just, Oscar Cooper, Edgar Love, four founders, sons of blood and thunder. I'm wrecking for the Q, I know it make you wanna. Frank Coleman, Ernest Just, Oscar Cooper, Edgar Love, four founders, sons of blood and thunder. I'm wrecking for the Q, I know it make you wanna. I'm always in the queue, but you ain't know. I'm resolute to the boot, you don't give me though. In that pack over there, that my dog team. Before I came out the womb, I had purple dreams. Schizo, that my line name. And A the Mule, that my chain gang. From my yard to any yard, I put that on my life. The Q's going hard. A whole nation full of bruhs. Do your duty, lift it up. This ain't about yourself, ain't about your kids. Jail as a unit, and we gon' run the ship. The greatest rap on the planet Earth. But make no mistake, God, I put you first. See, I know my place, and I stand my ground. Q's in the sky, we gon' hold it down. Frank Coleman, Ernest Just, Oscar Cooper, Edgar Love, four